Lisbeth Salander is one of modern literature's more fascinating characters, and somebody's got a massive following behind her. How did it feel taking on such a big role?
I was terrified first, and it felt like a suicide mission in a way, because, how can I fulfill and live up to everybody's expectations? And so I just, I said to myself, I have to give up. It's not possible. They won't, everybody won't love what I do, and people, I can't satisfy everybody. So I just had to, push away all those thoughts and try to close my eyes and my ears to the outside world and listen to myself and try to find Lisbeth in me in a way. And me and Nils, the director, and the other actors, it was like we went into some kind of bubble and just closed the outside world away from us. And then it was like I forgot about the whole thing, the whole circus around the books when we were working.
What do you think is the appeal to audiences in her?
Well, I think that she is... she's something new and fresh, She's so, she have gone through so many terrible things, and, everybody have let her down. The whole society, the government, the social worker, school, her father, everybody almost. But she doesn't feel sorry for herself. And she doesn't, she doesn't see herself as a victim. She's a fighter, and she's trying to find a way of living the life she wants to live. And she doesn't accept what people have done to her. And I think that's... I think that people always have loved, like, underdogs, but, people that are fighting against power abuse and the big dragons, the big politicians and police and so on.
What can we expect from Hearts 2 and 3? Do they stick to the original books?
Yes, they're pretty close to the books. And it was, it's difficult because the books are so thick. So, but we tried to get the most important things from the books. And you get to know, you have to... You see what, slowly Lisbeth's whole past rolls up, and you get to know why she has become the way she is. And, she ends up in this, murder history, and she's the main suspect for 3 murders. And she have to find the killer in a way, and that leads her back to her father, and then this this sick and dramatic confrontation between them. And it was really interesting to work with him, with my father actually.
Stieg Larsson famously said that he modelled Lisbeth Salander as an older version of Pippi Longstocking. That seems like quite a leap to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard that he said that, but I think that it was more like a joke. I think that Lisbeth is pretty close to him in a way. I think that he was also a workaholic in a way, and he was pretty lonely. He kept away from anything, and he was very shy. He didn't like to be in the light, in the spotlight. He didn't, like to be in TV sofas and so on. And he was working night time. And I think that he was pretty, I think that Lisbeth, actually everybody thinks that Michael Blomkvist is, the alter ego of Stieg Larsson. I think that Michael Blomkvist is the journalist that Stieg Larsson wanted to be, but I think that Lisbeth is pretty much from him also.
The tattoos in the movie that you have are fake, which is probably a good thing for future roles. But the piercings are real. What made you want to get them done?
Well, I just did them. It's not, for me, I always try to do as much as I can to, to go as far as I can into the character. And, I had to, when I, if I have to be pierced, I just pierce myself. And if I have to be fat and blonde, I can do that. So for me, it's not a big thing. And, in the third film, I had like this mohawk, I shaved both sides, and I looked like, when we were finished, I just looked at myself, what should I do now when I'm done? And this is what this is what is left. But that's the way I work, and I always have to do everything I possibly can.
There's talk of a Hollywood version of the film. Do you think that'll work?
Well, if you see, I think it's very hard to do remakes, because I think, if you see like Vanilla Sky, I think that, the first, actually the Spanish film was much better. And I think that's, in many cases it's very difficult to do a remake, but we'll see. I think it's interesting to see what they do out of it.
That said, would you be interested in returning to the role?
No. No.
Fair enough.
No.